Well, the time is ticking away as we look at wet weather approaching downtown Grand Rapids and into the Lake Michigan shoreline area. Still dry for now in downtown Grand Rapids, but it's not going to stay that way for much longer. Currently, it is 5:12 on this Tuesday morning, and as you can see, we will be tracking periods of moderate to even heavy rainfall, widespread precipitation today. It will be wet. It will be cool. Highs only around 60 degrees this afternoon. We'll dry things out by mid to late day tomorrow, and then we're looking at the warmest day we've had so far this year, coming up for Thursday with high temperatures expected to top the 80-degree mark. Now this morning we've got temps in the mid to upper 50s, which are actually fairly mild starting point temps, but they're not going to go much farther. In fact, we've got the combination of a northeasterly wind today and that precipitation moving in. I just wanted to show you the regional temperature contrast because there is definitely a strong frontal boundary through the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region. You can notice that separates the really chilly air readings only in the 30s across northern lower Michigan and the UP, and then 60s and 70s off to our south. It's that clash zone in the atmosphere that is setting the stage for the widespread precipitation to move in. And you can certainly see this heavy rain out over the central part of Lake Michigan moving toward the lakeshore areas, also down through South Bend, back into Chicago, central and southern Illinois, and all central and northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, back into eastern Iowa. And this area of precipitation is going to continue to lift in our direction. So I would think within the next half hour to 45 minutes, most locations along and west of US 131 will have some precipitation. And you can certainly see all morning into the early afternoon, we'll have that precipitation coming through. As we check out this evening, though, we start to see the heaviest of the precipitation move off to our east and southeast. Overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, we will at least feature some drier air starting to push into many locations, although our southern border counties will continue to see the potential for some rainfall to come through. And as we look at the rest of that Storm Team 8-day forecast, you'll see we are returning to some sunshine later tomorrow into Thursday. Highs in the low 80s on Thursday, and could be looking at some active and wet weather, unfortunately, for Riverbank Run weekend and Mother's Day weekend coming up, something we'll continue to fine-tune. And speaking of fine-tuning, meteorologist Matt Kirkwood, about a week ago, gave us a preview of the outlook for the month of May, what we would look like as a, at least as a month, as a whole month. And now there have been a few modifications, right, Matt?
Yeah, well, I did this outlook late last week, just prior to May beginning, and the National Weather Service has kind of reforecast or revised their forecast. And I wanted to show you this because I think most of us will like the revision. If you recall, late last week, the National Weather Service actually had the eastern portion of the Great Lakes and below average temperatures, and right now they reversed that to above average here across the Great Lakes. Not much change in the Central Plains or out west. But again, a revision towards warmer than average temperatures. And so far this month of May, we've had every single day above average. Today will be different. I don't think we're going to make it out of the 50s for much of the day. Below average precipitation expected across the Great Lakes, although this pattern that I'm seeing this upcoming week, we may get pretty close to over 3 inches of rain through next Tuesday, so I don't know if that's going to be right. But certainly looks like wet weather in the Central Plains, and believe it or not, that is certainly good news because that is where kind of the breadbasket of the United States is. Above average precipitation out there means crops happy.
Yeah,
farmers
happy crops.
They need it too.
Happy
Right.
tummies
Gosh,
later.
Never seen a drought like that they've been going through.
Yeah, big change.
Well, today people